One of the biggest challenges we've had to overcome at Change Creator to really start to grow and make progress to get where we are today is time. And I know that sounds funny, but we've all said once in our life at least, there's not enough hours in the day, right? Or I don't have time for this and I don't have time for that. And I have found through personal experience that it's not about the number of hours, it's about how we spend our time. And we can get very excited about starting a business and we focus on the wrong things. So a year goes by and you look back and you go, holy, like I didn't really get anything done. I didn't grow the business. I was actually, before I started Change Creator, I was working at WebMD for 10 years and I was director of strategic marketing. So I was living in Philadelphia for 6 years of that time and I had to commute from Philadelphia to New York every day. And during that time, I decided to become an entrepreneur. I could have said, well, I don't have the time to do that. I gotta leave the house. I gotta catch a train at 7:30 in the morning. When am I gonna work on a business? I gotta get home at 7:30 at night. Well, instead of making excuses, I made time and I woke up every day at 4 a.m. and I started figuring out what the heck I'm gonna do with my life. A few business ideas later, I landed on Change Creator. Once I dedicated my time to Change Creator, I went through a whole year. I busted my and I spent $30,000 and I had no growth. Yeah, we had some sales and stuff, but nothing like exciting, right? So this is a painful lesson to learn. And I had to really take a serious look if I was going to continue this and figure out what went wrong. And I started a complicated business because we all have niche phobia. We're afraid to go niche. We're afraid to specialize because there's FOMO, audience FOMO, fear of missing out on bigger audience in return. Well, you can all do that, but I highly recommend you don't because you have to simplify your business. A complicated business is very hard to scale. And if you have a very simple business, it's much easier. And you have to start figuring out where do you spend your time. And I was spending my time in all the wrong things. Because the business was complicated, I was all over the place, spread thin, and nothing was really growing, okay? We would spend money on advertising, PR teams, marketing teams. Maybe they were the solution to the growth problem, right? And none of it worked. None of those tactics worked. Why? Because what I figured out is we didn't spend enough time on the most important part of our marketing, which is our story. People were confused, and a confused person never buys. We thought it was clear, but because we're so close to it, right? We're very close. So I had to figure, how do we start changing how we spend our time? And so we had to simplify the business, one, and we continue to do that till this day. We're simplifying the business. And two, we had to spend time building a stronger foundation. As soon as we started making these changes, I literally would dedicate time every day to self-development because I started realizing that I'm working on all this stuff, right? But I never worked on my own mental game, our story, my self-development, and I had to carve out that time to work on it every day. So it wasn't about making more time, it was about stop wasting time on other things that have no ROI, tactical or things like ads that we're spending money. The ads aren't going to work. The PR team's not going to work because your story is not solid. We simplified the business and we started putting time into building a stronger foundation. Next thing you know, we have people reaching out saying, hey, can I interview you? Hey, love your story. Would love to write for you. Would love to be a part of what you're doing. It just started changing. We kept pushing that narrative, evolving our website, evolving our emails, our content, everything to have a consistent story. And it had to have clarity. It makes you more memorable, it builds trust, and this is why we focus on it as one of our core programs now, because we've been down this road and we want to help people overcome because we know they have the same challenges. So it came down to how we spent that time, and it is so important to understand storytelling, and getting support from other people in community can expedite your success greatly. So guys, don't be afraid to simplify. Do not try to scale a complicated business. And you have to do things in the right order, so that prioritization, you can't do everything at once. I hope that's helpful, because I know this was a major challenge that we had to overcome. And I think, based on all the conversations, I've talked to hundreds of entrepreneurs now, I see a lot of people going down the same road. I'm going to do a podcast, I'm going to do all this stuff, and I'm sitting there going, damn. You're going to look back in a year and you're going to see you focused your energy, the limited energy and time you have, on the wrong stuff. So, we all have to learn our lessons, and I'm putting this message out here right now because I want you to think about simplifying for growth and putting your time into the important areas, such as building out your story, knowing how to sell, okay? This is critical.